GreatTastesMB.ca is your online source for over 300 tried and true recipes, full episodes on demand, and exclusive behind-the-scenes content, including features on Manitoba's farm families. Subscribe today.
Tasty take-alongs with Manitoba Pork. You don't have to stress about it anymore. Susan Riese is setting you up here from Manitoba Pork. And recipe number 3, root beer pulled pork. So I think I know where we're going with this. Anytime you have something sweet that we add, and we're doing the slow cooker, we're going to have like that nice, there's going to be some caramelizing happening, I think. So let's start with this very large piece of pork.
So we're using a boneless pork shoulder today. This is about a 4.5 to 5 pound roast.
Okay.
And as you can see, there's some nice marbling here. And that's exactly what you want for pulled pork, right? Because when you cook it low and slow, all of that fat is going to render, and you're going to end up with a really nice moist product that's going to pull apart. Yeah. So the first thing we're going to do is rub this roast, and we've got this wonderful rub here with a bunch of different spices. We've got some brown sugar, some chili powder in there.
So a little more sweet. We've got the root beer sweet, you got the sugar sweet,
and some chili powder. The garlic powder, onion powder also adds a little bit of spice. Then we have a little bit of paprika and some dry mustard and just a pinch of celery salt as well.
Is that as fun as it looks?
It is, and you just want to massage that right in. You're going to use this whole amount.
Like, do you actually work it in? Like, it's not just putting it on the top. It's like you actually really want to kind of work it in there as well.
You just really kind of like rub it in. It does get a little bit messy, which is one of the reasons why I'm wearing gloves, because it just makes for easier cleaning of hands after. But
even just the rub smells so amazing.
You want to make sure you get it on all the sides. And, you know, the great thing about this is you don't have to be, you know, dainty or anything or delicate. You can just, and then I usually just kind of mop up the rest by
You've done
doing
this
that.
before, maybe once or twice?
Just once or twice.
Awesome.
And this is a really simple recipe. The ingredients in the seasoning are pretty standard for when you're making a pulled pork. So, and it's stuff that most people have at home,
I was going to say nothing like super unusual, and which is also fine, but yeah.
So then we put our roast into the slow cooker.
Okay.
So I'm just going to transfer that over.
My slow cooker, unfortunately, it is no more. I have to get another one because it's like, this is such a convenient way to cook. You know, once you get your thing in there, whatever it is that you're making, it's like, you know, off you go.
So you're going to add some root beer.
Okay.
To that. So we've got
just right on top, beside.
Yeah, we've got about just all over, just in.
I don't want to put it. You just put all that rub on there.
Goes in the bottom. Put it in the bottom.
All right.
So the key thing about slow cooking is that you want to reduce the amount of liquid that you would normally put in if you were, say, cooking the same recipe in the oven. So there's kind of a general rule of thumb. It's about 1/4 cup of liquid per pound of meat. And the other factor that's going to come into play too is the amount of marbling in your whatever meat that you're cooking, because the more fat, the more liquid is going to come out, which means the less liquid you need to actually add. You don't want your meat boiling in your slow cooker.
Right, yeah, we've all kind of done that.
Yeah, so I'm just going to get rid of this and give my hands a quick wash.
And so, of course, like, it's all about take-alongs with Manitoba Pork tonight, and so it's the ease of transport, it's the ease of, you know, you can serve it at home, you can take it along with you. And one of the other things that I kind of like about this is that, you know, traditionally, I guess, pulled pork is served on a bun. But you can also do, Susan, like lettuce, like people put it in lettuce, like the lettuce wraps, the low-carb option. If that's something that that's important to you, that's another way to go.
Yeah. So we would then put the lid on that, cover it up, and cook it on low for about 8 hours.
Okay.
This is a great thing that you can do overnight, right? Put it on before you go to bed. You wake
slow
up in the morning,
cooker.
and you've got this delicious pulled pork.
Okay. Yes.
So then away it would go. And then you're going to have a whole pile of cooking liquid in here, probably close to like 3-4 cups. You're going to want to get rid of it all, but you're going to reserve 1/2 cup, and I'll explain why after. So here we have the pulled pork that's come out of our slow cooker. We're going to shred it. And as you will see, it's going to shred
oh my gosh,
pretty easily. You just got to start it.
You barely have to even
somewhere,
touch it. Yeah.
And it's going to just fall apart.
That's amazing.
Right? And then any discarded little bit of fat that you want to discard, it's easy enough to do, right? So you can just see how it just falls apart. You can leave some bigger pieces too. You don't want it to be like totally mushy.
Sure.
So
Okay.
I know you're just tempted to
I
sneak a
I
piece
am
right off this cutting
physically
board.
restraining myself right now.
So you would do that. You would keep going with that throughout the whole, obviously the whole roast, and then it goes back into the slow cooker. So we have some here that's already done. We've shredded it. We've put it into the slow cooker. We're going to add in a half a cup of the reserved liquid,
okay.
right? And we've even skimmed the fat off a little bit. The reason you want to do that, it just adds a little bit of moisture, but it also, all those cooking juices that are in there is going to, we want to add that kind of a little bit back in. And then we've got a root beer flavored barbecue sauce that, that we would add, and you can add as much as you like. Not everyone likes it really saucy, so just add enough to make it moist, depending on what your preference is. Stir it up, put the lid back on, turn it on high for 15 minutes just to warm it all up, and you're good to go.
All right, awesome. Root beer pulled pork. When we come back, we're going to walk through our recipes one more time and also meet one of the families that is involved in bringing some of these incredible products that we use on Great Tastes of Manitoba every week. Don't go anywhere.
You're watching Great Tastes of Manitoba, filmed on location at Supper Central at Kenaston Commons.